Faith Ann Balzer, and I'm here in the Brother Scan and Cut booth, and we are scanning and cutting. So, over at the machine, I have a design that I've drawn, and I'm scanning it into the machine. Now, this isn't a design that I've drawn, but you could certainly take clip art, you could take anything that you found and saw on the internet, you could take a doily, you could take a snowflake that you cut, just your kid's handwriting, whatever it is, you can scan it into the machine. You can also take designs directly into the machine through the USB port. They can be SVGs, they can be anything that you really like, and of course there are more than 600 built-in designs in the machine too. Whew, that's a lot of stuff to be able to cut, right? So, the machine is going to scan this in, and then I'm going to be able to customize that file. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a stencil from this. Well, really, technically, it's a mask, not a stencil, but you know, it's all the same thing. So, I'm going to go ahead on the screen, and I'm just going to drag in my corner so that I don't get any of the edges of the paper. And once that's done, I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save it into the machine. And then just like Dorothy, anytime I'm somewhere I don't want to be, there's no place like home. So I'm going to hit the home button, and then I'm going to go to pattern, into the saved data to the machine. Here's my file. Okay. Now, if I go ahead, I want you to pay attention to the red box that's on the screen here. Each piece of this file is a separate piece, and that's so that you can edit it at any point. But if I want to move it all as one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select it all, say okay, I'm going to group it, and notice now there's just one red box. And what this means now is I can resize this. And in fact, let's say I just want to make it wider but not taller. I'll turn off the aspect ratio, and then look at that. It's just getting wider and not any taller. I can flip it, I can rotate it, I can do anything I want to this thing. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the scanning mat, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in my stencil material. So now this is a clear adhesive stencil material. I'm just going to go ahead and slap it right down onto my mat like this. And then I'm going to be able to load this into my machine. But how am I going to know where it's cutting? Well, there's the genius of the ScanNCut, because now I'm going to be able to scan this material in so that I can perfectly place that mask so that I don't waste material, so that I can get more than one cut out of this small piece of paper. And I love that because I hate the idea of wasting materials. So I'm going to go ahead, scan it in, wait for it to come back out, and there it is right on the screen. So now at this point, if I wanted, I can completely resize this, you know, however I want it. Again, aspect ratio, turning it around, playing with it. The world is my oyster. I can manipulate this in any way. And then I can put it right up in the corner. Now, if that screen is too small, you can zoom in. If 200% isn't enough, well, why not zoom in 400%? So we're just gonna go ahead and I can perfectly place this right at the corner. Now, how do I know what my blade setting should be? Well, I have a guess, but the real issue is I want to add a test cut. And a test cut is going to allow me to make sure that my settings are correct, because I don't want to cut through the backing. I only want to cut through the top layer, okay? That's really important. So the machine's going to stop right after the test cut. I'm going to be able to see, did that cut out? It did, but did it cut through the backing? It did. And what that means is I want to say quit cutting. I want to go back. I want to move my test cut over. I want to go ahead and change my blade setting and turn it down. And now I'm going to say okay, cut. And again, it's only going to cut that one little test cut so that I can make sure that I'm cutting correctly before I waste my material or try anything else. So again, I say, did it cut out? Okay. And did it cut through the backing? Oh, it didn't. So now I have it right. I don't have to push anything other than start, and it's simply going to pick up and it's going to cut out my mask from the area where I wanted it to. So that's like unbelievably easy way to make sure that you never waste your materials. You can see exactly where you're cutting. This means that you can fussy cut. This means that you can do all kinds of things where you are conserving and saving and never having to throw away a single little tiny scrap of paper, fabric, leather, vinyl. But imagine you can cut stencils out of acrylic. You can cut it out of all sorts of things. And in fact, I have a ring over here, which I will show you, which has all sorts of amazing things that you can cut, because the ScanNCut will cut virtually anything up to 2 millimeters thick. Leather, how about acrylic, glitter, all sorts of regular paper, whether it's thin dictionary pages, vellum, thicker papers, okay, we're talking about fabric. That is some wood veneer, that's pretty nice. glitter paper? How about burlap, okay? How about denim? You can cut cork. This is a stamp. That's right, you can cut all sorts of silicone stamps with this machine. This is magnet. You can even see that's a magnet material. Corrugated. How about fun foam to make foam stamps? Stiff felt. And again, acrylic for cutting your own stencils. Now, this is done. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to pull it out. Now this should come off as a single piece because we didn't cut through the backing, and it does. And then I should be able to pull off my mask, which I can. And now I'm just gonna pop out this one little extra piece, which is clinging. It's clingy. And I'm gonna be able to take a piece of pattern paper, bring it right in. I'm gonna be able to put my mask right down on it. I'm gonna grab a tower of ink pads, and I'm just gonna rub. And of course, I'm a color girl, so like 12 colors is way better than 2 colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep layering on some more color on here. Here we go, color. I like color. And then, because this is an adhesive-backed material, the lines here are gonna be super crisp, which I think is awesome. So I'm simply gonna put my fingernail underneath, pull it up, boom. I have a beautiful stenciled image, and here's a little bonus tip. When you have a lot of ink on top of your mask, move it over, take a baby wipe that's not too wet, rub on top. It's gonna distribute the extra ink that was on top of your mask, and you're gonna be able to get a second image by essentially cleaning what you have there. And now you can see in no time at all, from a hand-drawn drawing, we have made an absolutely gorgeous mask that's still sticky, and you can just reuse it over and over and over again. So thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, go to ScanNCut.com or check me out on my blog at balzerdesigns.typepad.com. Thanks.